You have seen it happen. Maybe at a bar, maybe at a work event, maybe you were the one it happened to. Someone walks up to someone they are clearly attracted to, and within 30 seconds, the whole thing is dead. Not because they said something offensive, not because they were unattractive, but because something about the way they did it made the other person's skin crawl. And the worst part is, the person doing it had no idea. They thought they were being charming. They thought the compliment was smooth. They thought the joke landed. And meanwhile, the other person was scanning for the nearest exit. If you have ever tried to flirt and felt the energy shift in the wrong direction, or if you have ever watched someone else try and physically cringed on their behalf, today, I am going to explain why that happens. Not with pickup lines, not with tricks, with the actual psychology of what makes flirting work and what makes it feel like a violation. Now, flirting is not something you fix in one video. There is too much to cover, and I want you to actually get good at this, not just understand it. So this is part 1 of a 6-part series. In this video, we are covering the foundation, the things most people get wrong before they even open their mouth. In the next 5 parts, we are going deeper into reading body language, the art of conversation, flirting in different contexts, when not to flirt, and how to know when someone is flirting back. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because if you miss even one of these, you are going to have gaps. And gaps are where the cringe lives. I am your brutal bestie. I do not do comfort. I do clarity. Let us get into it. The first thing you need to understand is that flirting is not about what you say. Most people think the problem is their words. They think they need a better opening line, a smoother compliment, a funnier joke. So they rehearse. They prepare something in their head, walk up, deliver it, and it lands like a brick on a glass table. And they walk away thinking they need a better line. They do not need a better line. They need to understand that flirting is not a performance. It is a response. Research by Dr. Jeffrey Hall at the University of Kansas identified 5 distinct flirting styles and found that across all of them, the single most important factor was not what was said, but how accurately the person read and responded to the other person's cues. The people who flirted successfully were not the funniest or the most attractive. They were the most calibrated. They paid attention. They adjusted in real time. They treated the interaction like a conversation, not a monologue. And the people who failed, consistently, were the ones who walked in with a script and delivered it regardless of what was happening in front of them. This is the first rule, and it is the one almost everybody skips. Do not start by flirting. Start by observing. Before you say a single word to someone you are interested in, read the room. Not the room as in the venue, the room as in the person. What is their energy right now? Are they relaxed and open, or are they closed off and distracted? Are they making eye contact with people around them, or are they deliberately avoiding it? Are they laughing with friends or sitting alone looking like they want to be left alone? These are not small details. These are the entire foundation of whether your approach will feel welcome or invasive. A person who is open, relaxed, and making eye contact with the room is giving you a green light to exist in their space. A person who is hunched over their phone with earbuds in and a tight jaw is giving you a very clear signal that right now is not the time. And most people who flirt badly are not bad at flirting. They are bad at reading this signal. They see someone attractive, and they approach based on their own desire without checking whether the other person is in a state to receive it. That is not flirting. That is interrupting. Now let us talk about the compliment, because this is where most people blow it completely. There is nothing wrong with complimenting someone. A genuine, well-timed compliment is one of the most effective ways to signal interest. The problem is that most people compliment the wrong thing at the wrong time. Here is the rule. Your first compliment should never be about their body, not their eyes, not their smile, not the way they look in that dress. I know that sounds counterintuitive because you are attracted to them physically and you want them to know that. But here is what happens when you lead with a physical compliment from someone who is essentially a stranger. The other person's guard goes up immediately, because a physical compliment from someone you do not know does not feel like appreciation. It feels like evaluation. It feels like you have been looked at, assessed, and rated. And that feeling, even when the compliment is technically nice, creates discomfort rather than connection. A study on flirtation strategies published by Kenner and colleagues found that the most effective early-stage flirting behaviors were those that signaled genuine interest in the other person as a human being, not as a body. Compliment something they chose, their style, their taste in music, the book they are reading, the way they handled a situation you both just witnessed. These compliments say, "I noticed something about who you are," not, "I noticed something about what you look like." The physical compliments come later, when trust has been established and the context has shifted from strangers to people who are genuinely connecting. Here is where listening becomes the most underrated flirting skill on the planet. Most people think flirting is about being interesting. It is not. It is about being interested. When someone is talking to you and you are genuinely listening, not waiting for your turn to speak, not scanning for an opening to deliver your next line, but actually absorbing what they are saying and responding to it thoughtfully, something happens neurologically in the other person. Research on social bonding has shown that feeling genuinely listened to activates reward centers in the brain. The person feels seen, they feel valued, they feel safe. And safety is the precondition for attraction. Nobody is attracted to someone who makes them feel on edge. They are attracted to someone who makes them feel at ease. And the fastest way to make someone feel at ease is to listen to them in a way that proves you are actually there. Ask follow-up questions. Reference something they said 5 minutes ago. Notice when their energy shifts. If they mention something that clearly matters to them, stay on it. Do not redirect to yourself. The moment you turn every conversation back to you, the other person stops feeling like a connection and starts feeling like an audience. And nobody wants to flirt with someone who treats them like an audience. Now let us talk about humor, because this is where context becomes everything. Being funny is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have. A large-scale study across the US and Norway found that the single most effective flirtation tactic for both men and women was making the other person laugh or showing that you found them funny. But here is what most people get wrong about humor and flirting. They use it as a defense mechanism rather than a connection tool. They crack jokes constantly because it keeps the conversation light and prevents them from having to be vulnerable. And that works for about 10 minutes before the other person starts to feel like they are talking to a comedian rather than a person. Humor works in flirting when it is responsive, not rehearsed. When you turn something that just happened between the two of you into a shared joke, that creates intimacy because the humor belongs to both of you. But when you are performing bits, delivering preloaded jokes, or trying to be the funniest person in every interaction, you are not flirting. You are auditioning. And here is the part that matters most. Read what the other person is giving you emotionally before you decide whether humor is the right move. If they just told you something serious, something personal, something that took courage to share, and your instinct is to make a joke to cut the tension, stop. That is not the moment for humor. That is the moment for presence. That sounds like it was really hard. Will do more for the connection than the funniest joke you have ever told. Knowing when not to be funny is a higher level social skill than knowing how to be funny. And the people who flirt well understand this instinctively. Context changes everything. The same behavior that feels charming at a party can feel threatening at a workplace. The same compliment that lands perfectly at a social event can feel wildly inappropriate in a professional setting. Flirting is not a one-size-fits-all behavior. It is context-dependent. At a party, people are socially open. Their guard is lower. The environment gives implicit permission to be playful and expressive. At work, people are in professional mode. Their reputation matters. The power dynamics are different. Flirting in a professional context requires 10 times more subtlety. And honestly, most of the time the answer is to simply not do it in that environment. If you are unsure whether flirting is appropriate in a given context, it probably is not. And the ability to recognize that is not a limitation. It is a sign of emotional intelligence, which is ironically one of the most attractive qualities you can display. Here's the thing nobody tells you about flirting. The best flirting does not look like flirting. It looks like two people who are genuinely enjoying each other's company. There is no pressure. There is no agenda. There is no performance. There is just curiosity, attention, and a mutual sense that this conversation is a little different from the ones happening around it. The energy shifts. The eye contact lingers 1 second longer than it needs to. The laughter comes easier. The space between you gets a little smaller without either of you consciously moving. That is flirting. Not the words, the space between the words. And you cannot create that space by trying harder. You create it by paying attention, by being present, by letting the other person feel like they are the most interesting thing in the room, not because you told them they are, but because the way you listen proves it. You do not need better lines. You do not need to be funnier, smoother, or more confident. You need to be more present. You need to read the room before you enter it. You need to listen more than you speak. You need to compliment who someone is before you compliment what they look like. You need to know when humor helps and when it hides you. And you need to understand that the most attractive thing you can do in any interaction is make the other person feel genuinely, completely, undeniably seen. That is not a technique. That is a way of being, and it is the only kind of flirting that actually works. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking, this is great, but my situation is different. Maybe you freeze up every time. Maybe you have a specific person you're trying to connect with and you do not know how to start. Maybe you have been out of the game so long you do not even know what flirting looks like anymore. I hear you. And that is exactly why I am building something. Your Brutal Bestie app is launching soon. Inside the app, you will be able to tell me your specific flirting challenge, your exact situation, and get a personal response tailored to you. Not generic advice, not a list of tips, a real, brutally honest breakdown of what you are doing, what you should be doing, and how to close the gap. Whether you need help reading signals, starting conversations, or just figuring out why nothing you do seems to land, the app is built for that. I will drop the link to join the waitlist very soon. And for my subscribers, I have an exciting opportunity coming that I am not ready to reveal just yet. But trust me, you want to be subscribed when that announcement drops? Aware, not naive. That is exactly who you are becoming. If this reframed how you think about connection, subscribe. And watch out for the next part in this flirting series. So tell me in the comments, what is the worst flirting attempt you have ever witnessed or experienced? And looking back, can you now see exactly where it went wrong?